Hi guys, and welcome to this upload for you guys today. Thank you ever so much for tuning in, obviously, to a wrestling fan open mic night. Well, it's early morning UK night, but at least one thing, it's nighttime in America or wherever in this world, because you know full well it's nighttime somewhere. Now I just want to say to every one of you guys is I want to cover this week's episode of Dynamite is the TV special or free for view of Beach Break 2023. Now this is only one half of it because Beach Break is on towards Collision this week as well, but I don't know if I've got time to watch, sorry, like I've explained for many times when I cover AEW, that I don't have time for Collision. Now that's not me disrespecting AEW, it's just the way it falls, I'm afraid. So I hope you can understand that predicament that I am in. Now, when I look at this episode of Beach Break from Dynamite on the 14th of May 2025, I just want to say, job well done, yet again. You know, I want to actually say this. I love the storytelling between Hangman Page and Will Ospreay. They opened up with that tag team match with facing the Don Callis family mystery opponents. Obviously, they continued, basically confirmed it last Wednesday night on Dynamite who they were actually facing. It was no other than Josh Alexander and Taneshka. I always have problems pronouncing some names, so I do apologise. But did this prove that Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay could work together as a tag team? Yes, they swallowed the difference, swallowed the pride. They actually got on with the job at hand. Yes, there was a bit of bitchiness at the start, but what you expect if you're building a feud towards the pay-per-view of Double or Nothing. Now, the thing is, when I look at this match, I thought it was actually a fantastic opener. Absolutely fantastic. They literally were back and forth sort of thing, going off towards this very tag team going forward. Now I just want to point this out that they literally swallowed the pride, coexist, and then at the end they had a fallout because he actually thought it was his he thought it was Josh Alexander hitting him when it wasn't even him at all. You know, there was a bit of bickering between them two, but fantastic what I actually got from this match. Now, Ricochet versus Zach Gowen actually happened. A lot of people may have criticised this, but Zach Gowen, I've not seen in many years. I don't recall last time I watched him other than when he was in WWE. That was back in 2002, or was it 2003, when Brock Lesnar actually manhandled him completely and destroyed him to bits. I can remember that sort of storyline with him, and then Stephanie ended up having a match with her dad. It was just a weird storyline to witness, but it made history making. And the way the likes of this match they portrayed, it was actually a decent match. It wasn't the best match of the night, but it was literally what you could get from this. You know, I tell you one thing, Zach Gowen, I give him credit where it's due when it comes to it. He's still got it. Even though if he's got one leg or a prosthetic leg on, he's still got it in the ring, and I'm glad to actually have witnessed this match. It proves you can't judge a book by its cover, and it's living proof by that when it comes to Zach Gowen. Probably a lot of people that watch current professional wrestling don't even remember him, and that's saying something. You know, saying that, when WWE released the likes of Zach Gowen, it was in 2004. You know, and I've not actually seen him since around that period, other than that's the only memorable storyline I feel like Zach Gowen actually had in the WWE. And Zach Gowen done a fantastic job. Job well done, lad. Now, then we had Hurt Syndicate versus Top Flight. Now, obviously in Top Flight, we literally It just was. I was not a fan of this match. You know, it was just a squash match, pretty much. There's nothing to take from this. The only thing you take from this is basically you got the Crew versus Dustin Reynolds, aka Goldust, versus Sammy Guevara. One out of those two will take on Hurt Business. Sorry, I keep saying Hurt Business. Hurt Syndicate at Double or Nothing. I wouldn't mind a triple threat tag team match, to be honest, but I've got no which way this is going to go. You know, and I'm intrigued. I really am intrigued going forward on this one. Now, you got the decision for Hurt Syndicate if he's going to give MJF the thumbs up or the thumbs down. He gave him the thumb up, and the contract signing is going to be next week. I'm interested to see how this is going to go, because what you can take from this is there going to be a plot twist? There's endless possibilities with this. What's going off? And I'm really intrigued to see which way this is going to go. Now, on to the championship elimination match. You've literally got a fatal 4-way elimination championship match. You got Tony Storm versus Azum versus Mina Shericone. I could butcher that. And then you got Sky Blue, who made a home return. Now, I was a fan of this match. You know, that was a great fatal 4-way. I've got to admit, the fatal 4-ways elimination matches week by week have been delivering. I'm intrigued to see which way this was going to go. And then you got Mina, who actually won it, so she's actually facing Toni Storm at Double or Nothing next week. I can see something coming from this. I don't know why, but it screams to me that Mina's going to win Toni Storm at Double or Nothing. Possibly. Possibly win that. And then you got the likes of Mariah May coming out to eyeboy Mina because she's got the title. Remember, AEW don't do rematch clauses, so it could be setting up towards Forbidden Door, going forward, obviously from Double or Nothing. A triple threat match. You got Mina, you got Toni Storm, you've got Mariah May. I know there's a lot of rumours at the moment going around that she's basically done with AEW, she's going to WWE or something on those lines, and I'm thinking, shut up. You know, if Mariah May stays with AEW, this is the way I feel like it's going to go. And that'll be an ideal match to have at Forbidden Door. Yeah, let Mina have a little run with the title. Let Toni Storm go apeshit that she's lost the title. And quite honestly, I could see that coming. I really can. I want it to come that way because I'm going to be at Forbidden Door, by the way. If anyone's going Forbidden Door, please let me know. You're more than welcome to come and meet me or whatever. End of the day, you're more than welcome to hang out with us for a bit before Forbidden Door and so on. And if you're stopping at a big massive hotel in Woolwich in London, that's where I'm staying. I'm not going to give you the name of it, but if you stop in there, you would know about it. You know, but I love that fatal 4-way elimination match. And then you got FTR tries to convince Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness to fight them. It seems that way we're building towards that Nigel McGuinness coming back in the ring. I don't mind that. It just felt like some way or form that what you call it? I feel like in a way, Daniel Garcia needs that mouthpiece, that manager, more than a tag team partner. Even though if this actually materializes towards them to facing FTR, I'm all for it, don't get me wrong, but to elevate Daniel Garcia's character, I wouldn't mind the likes of Nigel McGuinness being his manager, for his matches. Because quite honestly, he needs a bit more nurturing. I do like Daniel Garcia, don't get me wrong, but when you think about it logically, with the legends that AEW has been using in the past, they've used a legend to boost someone's character, and Nigel McGuinness is a prime example of that. That could be utilised that way, even if he has this match and doesn't have this match. Then we go on to... where are we? Then we go on to the main event. The steel cage match between Jon Moxley and Samoa Joe. This was absolutely bloodthirsty, don't get me wrong. I think this is where AEW is going to jump on where other companies have banned it recently. TNA's banned it recently. And I feel like this is where AEW is going to profit. Big time. Especially the way Jon Moxley is. Yes, we know for he's bloodthirsty and everything like that. But it was such a good match to the point where it literally, when it came to the end, literally with Moxley winning and pinning and retaining his championship. But the one thing that really caught my eye, which I was not expecting, is, how to put it, with everyone coming out, you had what you call it, you had the Elite out there, you had Kenny Omega came out there, you literally had Shane Strickland come out there, or Swerve Strickland is known in AEW. You got endless people that actually came out, and the one thing that really caught my eye was Gabe Kidd, where he slided the belt through the cage. Genius, don't get me wrong, but one thing that really leaves it wide open to me, where the hell's Pac? Has he been sort of temporarily, or is he off screen or something? I didn't see Pac at all. I only saw Gabe Kidd. So is he eventually going to be releasing? I gotta admit this. Is he going to be the one that replaces Pac in Death Riders? Because it's an interesting choice. I was not expecting to see Gabe there, but it's very, very interesting to add a new member. Because Gabe Kidd's still under the New Japan Pro Wrestling contract. I think he's going to AEW as soon as his contract's up in New Japan. He's got a bright future. I do respect Gabe, as you know full well. If you've been around here a while, you know how much I respect Gabe. And to see him doing what he's doing in AEW, I'm intrigued. Are we literally going to get Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd 2 at the O2 at Forbidden Door? Or we're going to literally have Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe at some point, maybe at Forbidden Door? So many dream matches I wouldn't mind seeing at Forbidden Door, because obviously going like I've mentioned. But that ending, I gotta admit, where they've actually got all the people coming out just to promote Double or Nothing for Anarchy Rules match, I would have actually technically waited till next week. But the catch is with this, right? Massive catch. You've got the likes of Jon Moxley being the current champion. Does this mean your main championship is not on the line at Double or Nothing? The catch is AEW can get away with doing that because they always got a backup plan. But I'm intrigued. I really am intrigued. Don't get me wrong, I do like Anarchy Rules match. It's always carnage. It's always fun to watch. You know, I'm just intrigued to see which way it's going to go. So, let's just see how that goes down. But anyway, guys, I'm off. I'm off to bed. I'm not exactly going to get up early in the morning, but I digress on all that. But thank you ever so much for keep tuning in. And as well, before I do go, that I bashed WWE for using photos towards Samoa Joe. I was just angry and frustrated, but it was absolutely a shambles tribute that WWE put out. But when I looked at the way AEW did it, he only worked for them once, if I recall, and they show more respect that way. They got Taz leading it. He's cried his eyes out. My throat's a bit got a lump in my throat just talking about it, and my God, we're gonna miss him. But what a tribute that was! Even you felt raw emotion to say Taz owes his career to Sabu, and just a massive feat to think that. I'm trying to fight back the tears again. When I saw Taz cry, I cried. I'm sure a lot of people did as well. But I'm off, guys, now, guys. But thank you ever so much. Keep tuning in to all my reviews that I ever do. At some point, I will get another guest on, and so on and so on and so on. But until next time, guys, keep hitting that subscribe button. Keep hitting that bell icon. And I'll be back with more content.